welcome back to another Subie Shaves video with me on a beautiful morning. Hashtag Team All Blade and hashtag No Blade Left Behind. I'm going to say it like I always do. Subie smiles to all of you and squad goals. Thank you so much for clicking into our shave video and for joining me. I am thrilled to have you here. I'm really excited. Hopefully today you got something cold in your head and you're ready for a fun shave because we're going to be doing it today. We've got the Yaqi Ghost on deck. It is in hand and it is ready for some shaving. I love this thing. I'm going to be straight up honest, out of the box. I said, that shares some key resemblances to other razors that we have used before on channel. But I can tell you this definitely steps it up for the Yaqi line of things, right? The razor company that was producing razors out of Zmak that were questionable has finally moved its way up through the ring up to this. I am telling you, the fact that I am sitting here comparing this to razors like Timeless, to the Yates, right? Honestly, we're comparing it to big time, very beautiful handcrafted razors, right? This is a 54 to 57 gram-ish. Mine read 55 grams and then went down to 54 on my scale, which is obviously not super accurate, but that's about where they put it as they sold it. It's a beautiful low exposure razor that covers the blade tabs. We're going to talk about this. I'm really excited to use it. We got 48 hours to shave off and we're using Wizamet Super Iridiums. I'm excited. It's going to be great. And again, thank you again for being here and bringing that positive, super energetic enthusiasm. I really appreciate it. And I love being able to interact with you below. So if you enjoy this shave and you enjoy the review, please go below. I'd love to talk. Today we're going to be using, right? I'm super excited. Hallows, let's talk about it, right? Not only has Yaqi been working their way up through the game, but I mean, let's talk about Will's adventure, right? This is a scent that he's re-releasing this year. I love the new label, right? The new label's awesome. I love it. The new label from Will's fantastic, but this is Hallows. This is one of their older labels. It has a ghost on it though, and I just want to mention, ghosty on the ghosty. I love this. That was cool. Talk about a charms kind of shave. I am super excited to see this released for the 10th time, right? 10th year that B&M has offered the Hallows shave set. It is being released again. I just saw it. I'm really excited. It's a very dark, musky, cinnamony, earthy scent. For me, it's got a small spice to it, but it's musky and dark. It's a scent that honestly, one of my buddies smelled it and he goes, it smells like you're going into somebody's attic kind of. I was like, I'm not going to disagree with you. Maybe attic, I don't know. It's a weird kind of interesting, unique smell. And they actually won awards with it, which is fascinating. You can see here today, it developed such a pillowy, beautiful, just absolutely stunning lather. And I used our brand new Mountain Hare. This is a gorgeous brush that Jeremy just turned. It's like a space-esque brush, right? It reminds me of the GalaXXXy. I love this thing. And I got to be honest here. This was actually sent to me as a replacement for my other purple brush that I had purchased from him that split. So I talked to him. Apparently, one of the brushes got water inside and the resin split. So he sent this to me. Talk about a beautiful turn that showcases how far he's come inside of the actual craft, right? Another person that has really made their way up, right? Jeremy started with brushes that, they were beautiful, but they needed work. And this right here, I think is really the epitome, right? He's really grown and shown that, just keep at it. Just keep at it. That's what we're all trying to do, right? That's what we're doing our best, darn it. And you can do big things when you really put your mind to it. And I think that's what's happened here. I think this is awesome. Again, huge shout out and thanks to Grace and Team Yaqi for sending this out for review. I am honored to have been a part of their journey, right? From 4 years ago when I was using a Zmak razor with a bar that looked like this, right? There were some times where I was like, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. But you know what? They came back every single time. Think about their Artist Club razor, right? The Excalibur. We saw that razor released and then released again and then edited and then re-released, right? We saw that razor undergo many revisions, but they keep at it. And I think there's something to be said about that, right? How many times could you do that personally? I was thinking about myself today. I'm like, how many times do you go back and redo something over and over and over until it's right? And that's what they've done, right? And then they got into the stainless steel market and the tiles were produced, right? And they had some issues with a gap not being the same on both sides of the razor, which was kind of cool, right? It gave you two different razors, but they ended up coming back and replacing all of them immediately, right? They actually replaced them completely under their dollar, right? They completely did that, and then they fixed the issue. And then the next stainless steel razor that came out was polished, right? They've progressively gotten better, and I think this really is the highlight. It's the showcase. It's absolutely the peak de gras. I think is what they call it. Absolutely beautiful. It's the pinnacle of their journey, in my opinion. I asked her if they were ever going to create a titanium razor about 2 years ago. She was like, we're working on just getting our buttons dialed in. This, I think, showcases that what they are capable of doing is really producing a beautiful razor. Now, I do want to call it out, right? The winning razor that was now actually being purchased and made under Yates is very similar on the handle style here. Very, very similar. And I know that Jake over at Yates, because I talked to him, was not very happy about that. But what I do want to mention here is in my hand, it feels thinner. This portion of things feels a lot thinner to me. These little rings are actually tighter in my hand. It's at least how they feel, and smaller. They feel a little bit smaller. And when you put your hand here, this for me actually has a little bit better of a refined edge. I don't know. The edges on this are a little bit more shallow and softer in your hand. They don't feel quite as grippy. From my experience, the satin finish on this resembles that of something like my Rockwell 6S, but slightly nicer, like the carve. It comes together. I think their finish actually looks a little nicer than even like the Rockwell 6S when you talk about matte finishes, right? I like this matte finish on this titanium. Usually with titanium razors, I polish them immediately. This is nice enough where you don't see any of the like manufacturing, any CNC lines, and you don't see anything. This is nice enough where I think you just keep it like this. I love this. I think at the $130, they're swinging for the fences because I think the quality and the craftsmanship behind this on the fit and finish is definitely upwards beyond the 2 mark. Now, when you look at the actual head cap, what you'll see is you're securing the blade with these pins here. The Yates does secure it with 3-ring pins, right? Very different. And I also noticed, I want to just call this out. I want to get it out anyway. I don't care. This sits on my bed, on my countertop all the time. I never take it off. This is my Yates EH plate. When you look at the two, you see how this one's like been fabricated very sharp. Like it comes to get off, like it is there, the bevel is there, but it is very, almost like architectural. Whereas this almost feels like a wave. Like it almost feels like a wave that breaks where there's no edge to it, but there's a line. You can actually feel that line. You see that right there? It's very different. When you compare the actual build side by side, the Yaqi razor is just smoother. The lines are much more smooth. It feels slightly more elegant. They both cover the tabs. You can see there's definitely very key resemblances to the 2 razors, right? Very, very similar. But when you look at them side by side, when you really sit there and you look at the bar, the safety bar, there's some differences that they went in and changed. And I think that they changed because they wanted it to feel very smooth against the skin. Let's do some shaving and find out. I'm really excited again. I've been waiting for this for about 4 years, watching Yaqi progress and make better and better products. And today we're doing it with this first iteration of the Ghost Rider. This is the first time I've seen it, first time I'm using it. And I'm really excited to see how they did as far as bringing it home. We're going to get this swiping across on, again, 48 hours of stubble. I'm sorry I talked so long. I'm really excited to see this company come forward and just swing for the fences. They continually have put out razors and said, okay, maybe this didn't work. Let's go back to the drawing board and redo it. And they just keep, I love that. I love that mentality that they keep working at it and they don't just roll over. I think that's cool. And I think it's led them to this. Now, again, beautiful razor, maybe not entirely design-wise like theirs, right? Not entirely, but as far as setting all of that aside and saying, okay, let's just test it based on its shave merit. Boy, do I like this. Now, the blade fill on it reminds me exactly. I mean, if you were to sit it down side by side, I think it feels almost identical to my skin. Keep in mind, the angle's different, but the actual process of it removing stubble reminds me of the Carve Overlander. To be perfectly honest, 100% transparent here, it feels like it's got just enough blade fill. It's mild. I would put it as like a 2 or 3 on the blade fill, but it does have a little bit where I actually know where the blade is. I love the satin finish on this. It is very, very good shaver. It is very mild. And again, it does have a limited blade exposure, but I don't think that really restricts the razor from shaving well. Perfectly honestly, like when you look at the tech of old, right? One of my favorite shaving razors, not a ton of gaps. So, I mean, definitely can be done. And I think this is doing it. I'm shocked. I'm a little bit shocked that a razor with this little bit of blade fill can shave this well. But I found that with the Carve Overlander as well. Now I can feel like on this across the grain stroke right here, that the actual razor gave me a little bit of binding. It was like, okay, I'm not going to be as smooth. There's too much stubble to go through on this pass. But you can see it's taken it right off. So it's probably going to be a nice 2-pass razor for me. Easily a 2-pass razor for me. So I'm not going to get like that BBS 1-pass. But with a limited blade exposure, you're not really expecting that. What you're kind of expecting is to be able to have a smooth, enjoyable, very relaxing autopilot styled shave that just, I mean, honestly, this has enough fill to it where I don't feel like it's autopilot either. Talk about a charm styled razor where you're getting like a little bit of blade fill, you're getting the efficiency, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna bite you, right? It feels very friendly. I think that's what this razor, like, this is like the friendly ghost. How have we not come up with this? You guys are here for the realization. This is the friendly ghost. Oh, I figured it out. That's because I never used it. I didn't know it was gonna be friendly. That is like the friendly, that is the Casper of Caspers right there. That is Casper of Casper. I just checked to see if it had a blade in it. I'm like, is this even working? This is crazy. It's super smooth. I like it on the back of my neck a lot. It feels just very, very friendly, very easygoing. Now, again, there are key, very, very distinctive differences between the actual Yates produced product and this one. And I do want to just say that you can't really judge a book by its cover, right? When it does this. Booyah! Ow, that's good. That is great. I mean, that's the shot right there. I know some people are like, oh, gross. It works. I can tell you that. We're showing it today. It works. I want everyone to see it does work. And even with a mild exposure, you can still produce a razor that shaves extremely well. Anytime I've ever heard somebody say, you can't get a good shave, it's too mild, I always thought to myself, oh, maybe just try a different angle. This one is a different angle for sure. It took me probably 4 strokes on my cheeks to have that angle figured out. Because the first stroke, I was like, that doesn't really shave. And then the second angle, didn't really shave. So I went steep, I went really steep, I went really shallow. And then what I ended up finding is it actually loves like 27, 28 degrees. So if I'm holding that razor like this and I'm intentionally really paying attention to that angle, it is like the sweetest of sweet spots. I mean, it just busts off stubble, no problems. And it's really smooth. It's an angles game with this razor. I think that this razor is going to receive a ton of flack. I think a lot of people are going to buy this and sit it next to their Yates and say, well, my EH razor saves so much better and I like it so much more. And they're going to just say that it's because it's not as good and it's a clone. This razor is absolutely phenomenal at the right angle, man. It's mild, yeah, sure. And I don't think mild razors like this are for everyone on the market. I really don't. I think this fits the majority of new shavers, people that are coming into the craft that are probably not super experienced and don't, they're looking to be a little scared of safety razor shaving, because this kind of makes it feel safe. I won't lie. Casper takes you along for the ride and he says, this is going to be an easy rider. This is going to be safe. It's going to be enjoyable. We're going to float around in the air and spin together. It's going to be awesome. This does that, man. That is a sweet, lucky me charms, man. I've needed something like this. I needed a win. This is a win after all the drama that's been going on. This is a nice win. I'm telling you, this is great. This is very, very easygoing. It's relaxing. This is what it's about. This is what it's totally about. Even the high proof razor yesterday, when we were shaving with it, I was thinking, oh, my bug bites are going to get annihilated. Not this. This feels like it's going to just glide right over them. No problems. Give me a beautiful shave and never have any blood drawn. That is just a beautifully easy. Yeah, I'm doing a little more buffing than I typically do, but that's because I know I can with this razor. It feels very, just welcoming. I like that. Yeah, that is fun. That is awesome. I can see the merit why they went with like a low blade gap on that. The nimbleness combined with the mildness make for a really smooth, enjoyable, like friendly shape. That's awesome. And it feels just so darn ergonomic in the hand. Oh, yes. And for all of you out there that are still watching and are like, does the handle fit? I tested it for you. That's what I'm here for. It does fit the Yates. Thanks for asking. It actually does go on there. So if you own the Yates razor and you hate this little skinny thing like this, right? Jake, I'm sorry, buddy. This for me is not as good as it can be. I can see more out of it. This for me, really, really comfortable, and it fits. I hate to say it, but it does fit. I will make sure to show that. I think it's really important to call that out, because I was like one of these people that was looking for that handle, the source that was going to fit my Yates and still look is like, a Yates. So now Yaqi to the response and for the solution. Again, what a shave. I think the Ghosty, when you set it up by itself and you say, is it worth it? If you're looking for a razor that's extremely mild, right? Shaves kind of like your brass carve overlander, but is light, like it is very, very nimble. This is right up your alley. I'm telling you, it's a different angle. But once you get that angle dialed in, oh boy, does it work. And does it work good. Look at this. Look at the shine, the shimmer, my skin's screaming, touch me. I love that. I love it when you're like not going to flinch because you just had a bad or rough shave. going on here with a little bit of the Hallows splash, just to see how we did, you know what I mean? Just give it a little bit of extra, a little class here. And definitely, the attic smell, I think I can never unhear that. I'm sorry if I've ruined the scent for a bunch of you. It does not smell like a basement to me, but my buddy, when he said attic, I was like, I've been in enough attics that that's ruined the scent for me. Great stuff from B&M and awesome stuff from Yaqi. Wow, what a beautiful razor. And again, what a shave. Ghosty with the ghosty. Oh, that's great. Thank you again for being here. This is one I would love to do some battles. Let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see. For me, I would love to see this go up against like the Timeless. I'd like to see it go up against maybe, you know, something really efficient like the Carbon, right? We could do like a plus plus. We could try the base plate, but I think this is going to beat it. For me, at least, I really like the way that this shaved. And I love that it covers the tabs, right? For all of you out there that are head shavers that are like, I don't like those tabs, it covers them. Awesome razor. Phenomenal shave, and thanks again. Huge shout out to Yaqi and Grace and to all of you for being here. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. And until I see y'all again, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna absolutely love today's shave, and you should too. Until we see each other, Subes out.